second. She's dead though.
I'm so sorry.
What's your age preference?
My age preference, honestly, is anyone older than me. I don't like dating men my age because men my age, in my experience, there probably are 25-year-old men out there who have their shit together.
It's just rare.
In my experience, none of them do.
Yeah.
I don't deal with it. The youngest man I've ever dated, I was in high school. I was a senior and he was a freshman. It was a very wild year, and the only reason we broke up is because I was going to college, and I was like, look, dude, you got 3 more. Come on.
Yeah.
So
you got a while, buddy.
Matter of fact, no, we were together for 2 years. I was a junior when he was a freshman, and then senior year he was a sophomore, and I was like, yeah, you got 2 more years. I'm done with it. My dude right now is 31 years old.
Just a few years older.
And he's, other than the younger dude in high school, he's the youngest. I don't date men my age.
You like older, yeah. What's your preference?
Okay, so I did mention I date guys older than me, but like I have like a cutoff. So I don't like to talk to anybody that's over 30. Like I'll make an exception, like if your personality is there. But I would say like the youngest I would talk to, you have to be like able to legally drink. So 21.
21 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about you? Close.
I would say definitely, I don't know, because it's like guys my age is like they're still immature in so many different ways. So it's like, and then there's some people that are kind of like younger. I feel like the youngest would probably be like 2 years younger than me, like 20, like, but the oldest probably around the age, like no more than like 7 years older than me. I don't know.
Like 30?
Yeah, like 30
okay.
For sure.
No older than 30. What about you?
Currently, he is a year older than me. I've always I grew up with that ideal of like 1 year at least older than me, like because my parents.
They were like that?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
With me being, 29, I'll be 30 in May. So my preference is always older. I don't think I've ever dated anyone younger than me. Like you were saying, around my age, I just feel like the guys that I've experienced, they don't, it's not there.
It's getting pushed back more and more. Like I'm 32, and there's a lot of guys that are in my peer group and stuff, and they're not taking anything serious until 35, 40. Yeah, it's really hard. Like I have to tell women all the time, if you're going for the 30s guys, you gotta kind of go up higher to 35, 40. And it's just because those guys are ready to settle down. Really what it is income, guys. So like a lot of guys aren't comfortable enough for relationships, aren't comfortable. Like we're all about timing. We're all about, I'm not ready to have that kid yet. I'm not ready to get married yet. I need to have the job that pays me $150K a year. They have goals that they want first, and our dads and our grandfathers easily hit those goals. They easily were able to become providers for their households. So guys are waiting longer and longer because it's taking them longer and longer to hit those numbers where they want to be serious men then, That's the only reason why I'm as grown as I am and wanting a relationship early is because I've been making $100K a year since I was like 19 years old. So like I've always been a relationship guy. I've always been able to provide for my women. That's a very rare thing. Very rare that most guys can do that.
So what age would you say range? Because you said you would date somebody older. What does that age look like? I mean, 30. That could be 30, 31. That could be 32.
I'm not. I'm currently dating someone. I'm not gonna disclose their age, but
yeah, that's fine.
I say at least 40. You know what I mean? 40 or
because they know what they want.
It could be a little bit older than that, strictly because they're established. Like they already know the ropes. They didn't already have their experience. They can teach me something. They can put me on game with a lot of things in terms of like, making different financial moves to put me in a better position. So just dealing with somebody my age, not knocking nobody, but like I want to learn from my partner or the person that I'm dealing with. So if you can't do that for me, or if you're not really mature in the space to where like if I feel like I'm making more moves,
you're smarter than them.
Exactly. Then it's just like.
And that's honestly really smart. I got to shout you out. It's very, very smart of you to do that. Because a lot of women in your situation be like, I'm not dating a 40-year-old or something like that. But sometimes you kind of like that's where you're gonna find what you want, like all those good things. And like, I don't like to talk about this all the time, but there's something called the wall. And the wall is like, I don't know when the wall is for a woman. The wall can be it's different for every woman. Some women are very beautiful. They got great genetics, and you're not going to hit the wall until you're 35, 40. But there's a mental feeling that women go through where you start realizing you can't pull the same guys you pulled when you were 21. Like and you don't even like, you'll notice it. It's just something that you'll naturally notice. And like when that happens, that's whenever you realize it's sometimes too late for some women. But in your situation, like, I'm not saying that you've hit the wall or anything, because like I said, it's a mental thing. It's your own thing. I don't know when it's gonna happen to you. But since you're already looking for men that are, at that age and they're established and shit, you have a very good chance of having a family, having kids, like doing all that stuff, because you're not sitting here thinking you still have 5 or 10 more years.
Exactly.
You need to, but you're at a time right now where you can make that shit happen. And so I'm very proud of you for doing that, because there's very few women that come on the show in your situation and they actually do that. Very, very, very proud of you. Let me do the super chats really quick. $2 from Gus. Thank you, bro. Would you like to marry a man with traditional values? I'll go
Yes.
around really quick. Here, just you first. Traditional values. Want to
Yes, you need to be a gentleman.
TradCon guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
You don't.
Yep.
Oh,
Most definitely.
everybody wants tradition. I gotta ask. Are y'all traditional women?
Yes.
Oh, really? Who said no?
No.
Who
Okay,
said no?
To an extent.
Huh?
To an extent.
To an extent.
I would say that I'm learning, just because, like I said, I grew up with a mom that was a single mom, and so I'm used to being a woman in my masculine energy instead of my feminine energy. So I'm still learning.
You're
how to do
learning.
that.
Yeah, that's great. I can give you a lot of really good books for you to read. That would really help you out a
And
lot.
I'm a reader, so.
Yeah, no, that's the best thing, is you just wanting to learn. Well, y'all both said. What about you?
Yeah,
Do you
my mom.
do you consider yourself a traditional woman?
No.
No.
I'm not.
Do you consider yourself a traditional woman?
I consider myself a mostly traditional woman.
Half, about 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I would consider myself a traditional woman.
You talk closer when you can. But yeah.
Yes.
Yes. What about you?
I think no, but I also am uneducated in that field, so I'm probably with Dez on the needing to read up on that.
You're actually
Still
extremely
learning.
traditional, because
I?
you've only been with one person. That would actually, you would be considered, if you asked the internet who's the most traditional at this table.
But aren't we talking about cooking and all
Yeah,
that?
but if you really want to look at traditionalism,
I can't cook, y'all.
is a lot of guys really, really give a fuck about chastity. They
got
like
you.
like chivalry, like
one
like
comment
these
said he
these-
wanted
these-
a body count under
yeah.
5.
Body count is very massive to guys. I'll explain to y'all in just a second why it's such a big deal. But yeah, because of that, I guarantee you everybody would say you're the most traditional, just because you don't have a high body count.
Which is dumb.
Well-
Cause no, I'm not. Y'all gonna be at home starving.
I'll explain to you in a second why they care like that.
Starving.
But yeah, what about you?
I would say yes. And many may not know, but me and Michelle are sisters. So the way that like we grew up, and from our mom, the way that she raised us, it was very traditional.
It was a two-parent household.
2-parent household.
That's exactly,
household.
and that's another reason. Like, if we really look back at why everything is messed up today, guys, it is the destruction of the nuclear family. If it wasn't for the fact that, and trust me, the powers that be wanted to fucking destroy the nuclear family, because they make buckets. They make stupid money off of tax dollars when there's way more women in the workforce. There's way more things being bought. Women are 80% of the consumer base, okay? Y'all are 90% of the credit card use of credit. So because of that, they make stupid fucking money because y'all are single, or y'all are taking care of yourselves and doing everything on your own. Think about it. If you have a nuclear family, you're going to buy a house. That's y'all saving. That's y'all building generational wealth by putting equity into that home. Y'all get to focus on your 401ks and stuff, because you're looking at the future for you and your kids. They are destroying the world by keeping people single. That's the whole reason why I do this fucking show, is because I think that they want everybody single, so then they can fucking really fuck everything up and make way more money while also fucking everybody, all of us up. Think about how many people are going to be in, having to go to therapy and shit over the next decade because of sleeping around. Like, it's so glorified to sleep around, to do all these things. And we know by statistics, pair bonding, you have a higher chance of divorce, less happiness in marriage. There's all these things that happen if you have too many bodies. So trust me, like if you ever want to know why everything's being pushed out, it is, they want it for a reason. They're making stupid money off of us doing this shit.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do men mean when they say they want a traditional woman? Because when I say I'm not completely traditional, it's because my mom is Superwoman. My mom, literally, she cooked, she cleaned. I was too young to understand at the time, but she fucked, she did all
But
of that.
she was a
good stuff.
single mom, right? She wasn't?
My stepfather was in the house. She cooked, she cleaned, she did all of that. When he woke up in the morning, his clothes were already ironed, his lunch was already in the room. She hopped up and she went to work. She came home, she made dinner, so she made money. She took care of the kids, she took care of her husband.
She was a superwoman.
She did everything. So
Yeah.
what do you mean when you say traditional? Because I'm a traditional woman. I cook. When I say I cook, I clean, I do all of that.
It's mostly that. Yeah.
Make money.
It's definitely mostly that. It's definitely mostly cooking, just making a home, like like a big cliche thing that's always said, like you give a woman groceries, she'll give you a meal. You give a woman a house, she'll make it a home. I really believe like those type of cliche things. Like, and yeah, like that is definitely very traditional of you.